Good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube. Troy West here, saying thank you for watching another presentation of the Solid Sports video blog. Today's date is October 21st, 2025, a Tuesday. I usually don't go live on Tuesdays, but this is the best date for me to go live this week. I might do another one. Um, I'm thinking maybe Friday, but I'll let you guys know if I do another blog Friday because even though we're going to touch on week 8 of the NFL next week. But I don't make my picks till that Friday, so I might just do a live show, do my picks live, and then still post them on the community wall. Might do it like that, but I see how this week goes. But thank you guys for being here this morning. Sorry, what we've been gone the last 2 weeks. I know we missed last week. We didn't go live. But my work week, I worked the next couple of days, so Thursday, I'll get home kind of late probably, so then we'll have to rush to come home and do one. But we got a big show today. A lot to cover. We're going to start previewing the World Series. Big win for the Toronto Blue Jays last night. Game 7, George Springer. I just felt it coming that he was going to hit that home run. Seattle couldn't recover. They blow a 2-0 lead and they blow a 3-2 lead. All in the same series. Couldn't get to their first World Series. Blue Jays and the Dodgers will play on Friday night. I'll give a look at that. NBA season start tonight. 2 big games. Houston Rockets with Kevin Durant returning once again to OKC Thunder. Defend their championship. And Lakers and Warriors tonight as well. That's the late game. NBC. I'm excited to see how the presentation is going to be with that tonight. But I'll give my quick thoughts on the season. I usually do a whole show, but I decided not to do one this year. I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on what I think is going to happen this season, what could potentially happen. We'll look at that. And, of course, we'll look back on Week 7 of the NFL. Just wrapped up last night, 2 pretty dominant performances. Lions dominated the Buccaneers. Buccaneers had a lot of injuries. Baker Mayfield looked it off last night. I watched pretty much that whole game. I didn't watch much of the Seattle-Houston game, but Houston problem, I think they got to stop ignoring it. The offensive line is bad. C.J. Stroud ain't going to be able to really reach his potential until they fix that. But give Seattle credit. Sam Darnold looking good again. So we'll see if he's able to continue that. Still trepidation is if he can do it late in the season. You see what happened last season, and his rest of his career. But he's playing very well for Seattle. That NFC West is looking pretty strong. So we look at all that this morning. And hello, I can't pronounce your name. Look, it's Russian, but thank you guys again for being here. Like I said, usually don't do Tuesdays, but Tuesday was a perfect day to do it. I'm outside. It's kind of chilly out here. It's in the 40s. I didn't expect it to be this chilly out here, but I wanted to come out here because the lighting is better than what it is inside my house. So let's go to get started with today's show. World Series is set. Dodgers, they swept Milwaukee, which I wasn't surprised that they did. Blue Jays, like I said, got off the mat, went down 2-0 at home, went to Seattle, won 2 out of 3 there. Still had to come back and win game 6 and 7. They do it. George Springer, huge home run in the 8th to give Toronto the lead, and they held on to it. The Max Scherzer game, that was a big game for the Blue Jays as well. I think that they need it. But this World Series, like I said, I picked the Dodgers to win it. I picked them all year long, so I'm not going to go against that. But I think this could potentially be a good series. I'm glad Toronto get a chance to get some days off so they can set their rotation. So the rotation, everything will be kind of even. Dodgers rotation has been outstanding in the playoffs. I think I just heard a stat that the starters ERA is under 2 since the Cincinnati Reds series. The bullpen is the Dodgers' weakness. If the Blue Jays can get to that bullpen, then that's what they will have a chance to strike in this series. We'll see Shohei Tony. Other than last game, he's been up and down in the postseason. Mookie Betts just started to get healthy. Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy. They got a deep lineup, you know. Blue Jays though, lineup just as deep. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing out of his mind. He's definitely earned his contract that he got. I think it's gonna be a good series, but I still gonna lead with the Dodgers. I just think they're a little bit deeper, um, and I just think the starting pitcher I give them the nod as well. I think it's gonna go 6 games. I think Toronto. Um, I think if they got a chance, I do think they have to win. Um, Maybe at least split in LA. They go home and probably take care of business. But I think they got a shot. But I just think the Dodgers just a better team, and I think that's who's going to win it again. They go back to back. First team to go back to back since the 2000 Yankees when they went 3 in a row. Ever since then, nobody has repeated in baseball, and that's been almost over 25 years ago. So I think the Dodgers are going to do that, make a little history, and win this World Series. It starts Friday, so we got a couple of days to get ready. That's why I'm glad they got the big break, so the Blue Jays won't go in having to piece together their rotation. They can pretty much put out whatever rotation they got because they have a lot of days off, everybody. So, but they do have home. Oh, they got that's right. They got home field. So I'm sorry. The first 2 games is in Toronto. So I think the Blue Jays better. I think if they can win the first 2 games at home, I think they got a real shot. Um, if they split, I mean they can't let the Dodgers. I can't do what they did the last series. If the Dodgers go in there and win the first 2 games, I think it's pretty much over. So, but a good World Series. Blue Jays was a little bit of a surprise to me this year. I don't know if I picked them to make the playoffs, but I did expect them to be here. So, great World Series this year. But I like the Dodgers in 6 games. So that's my prediction for the World Series. Of course, we're about to talk about the NBA season. It starts tonight. 2 good games. Bertha, how you doing? Glad you here. Glad everybody here. Some people picked in, some people went back out, but that's fine. Um, NBA season. If you've been following me for a while, I usually do like I said, I usually do an all-out preview show. But I'm not going to do it this year. I'm just going to touch on a few things I think is going to happen this season. But this NBA season, especially in the East, is nuts. All the injuries, with Tatum not going to play this year, pretty much. Halliburton's gone. Um, it's a lot of injuries that messes up the East, so the East is wide open. A lot of people on the Knicks and the Cavs, but we're going to talk about the West first because the Western Conference. I took a hard look at it, and I gotta go with the Thunder again. Even though I said I'm pretty much about to contradict myself. I said, especially in today's NBA, it's hard to repeat. But then I look at the West, and I can't I can't pick a team that can really beat that I think can beat them in a 7 game series. A lot of people throw out the Denver Nuggets. The thing about the Nuggets is I think the Joker. I think it's starting to weigh on him that he got to do too much for them to win. Jamal Murray just not consistent enough. Michael Porter Jr. I'm a little bit disappointed in him. I thought he would take a step forward as far as improving him on his career. Unless that happens, I think Denver still will fall short. Lakers and Clippers. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Clippers. The Lakers, the LeBron thing. I don't know what's going on with LeBron. You hear so many reports about him being upset about the Lakers not extending him, and other things like that. They say people saying this injury might be fake. Just a lot of drama in LA, but I believe in Luka Doncic. So I think Luka's going to have a monster year. He has a great off season. I think he's motivated. I think he's over getting traded from Dallas. I think he really wanted to stay in Dallas. I think that really did hurt him when they traded him. But I think he's got that out of his mind. Now he's going to play out of his mind for the Lakers. Actually, I would predict him to be the MVP this season. Um, him or SGA, will probably win it again. But I like Luka. If the Lakers are a top two seed in the West and Luka do what he does, I think they'll give him the MVP this year. Um, but I still don't think they could be OKC unless LeBron really be engaged and probably play um, out of his mind. I think he will be the key if the Lakers gonna go anywhere. And they still got some holes on the front line and things of that nature. So if they could somehow fix all that, I think they got a chance. Clippers, same thing. A lot of off the field, off the court stuff with Kawhi. But they say Kawhi look good, and he's healthy. James Harden gonna have to return to form as well. Um, if that can happen, the Clippers will be an interesting team. Then maybe come out of nowhere. I like Houston as well. I think the Fred VanVleet injury though hurts them, but I think Kevin Durant. And like I said, I've said this about. I think he's going to give you what he's going to give you, scoring wise. Um, but I think Udoka is the key. I think him being a coach, he's not going to let them slack off. If they can find somebody that can sort of just run the point, I think Houston will be fine. So watch out for them. Um, Pretty much that's it in the West to me. Um, Other teams, maybe I just don't see any other teams really challenging OKC. Minnesota, I forgot about the T-Wolves. Can't forget about them. I like Anthony Edwards. Hopefully he turns the corner, keep getting better. But the thing with Minnesota is they have nobody else that can consistently help him out scoring wise. Um, Rudy Gobert is Rudy Gobert, so I'm not even going to touch on that, even though some people bring up like he's an issue. But Rudy Gobert, you know what you're going to get from him. Great defense. Um, do some of the dirty work. Um, but Julius Randle, we'll see what he does. I think if he's a nice number two, but is he enough? So we'll see. But I just don't think. Like I said, I think OKC is open for them to not just get out the Western Conference, but to win the whole thing again. Um, Now let's talk about the East real quick. Also, now I got a sort of a. I think it's going to be a surprise to some people. It's going to be a surprise because I don't think nobody's picking them. Uh, but let's talk about the top of the East first. Cleveland and New York. Like I said, Cleveland's is I just and I don't want to put it on Donovan Mitchell, but it's like he can't just break through that ceiling. Um, the Knicks. I think I really think with them, hopefully they can handle the pressure because now you got expectations. But a lot of people picking y'all to make the finals. Cat, yeah, they complain about his defense, but like I just said about Rudy Gobert, you know what you're gonna get from Cat. I think it's gonna be the role players for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson's gonna do what he does, and I like Mike Brown as a coach. I think he is a better fit, probably than Coach Tibbs. I think Coach Tibbs. Well, just to touch on him real quick, I don't know if he's going to get another job in the NBA. I think he had too many chances, but you never know with coaches in all sports. Some team will get desperate and probably hire him. But they're the two top teams. They expect to do something this year. Boston, I'm not going to dismiss Boston, even though I think this is a huge year for Jaylen Brown. I think this is his year. He has to. I think he can show what he really could do. Always had to play sort of with and behind Tatum, so he'll get his chance. If he can still elevate Boston, let's just say to a 1 seed, I think he would prove his worth. Even though I think he already has, but I want to see how he responds, being the number one option in Boston. And they sort of cleaned house a little bit. Kristaps is gone. Drew Holiday is gone. But they still got a lot of the core pieces off the bench. So Boston would be an interesting team to look for this year. Detroit Pistons, interested team as well to me. Cade Cunningham took a step forward last year. Um, I want to see how they respond now. They have a chance in this wide open Eastern Conference. Miami Heat, I mean, it just seems like they get in their own way. We'll see what they do this season. Milwaukee with Giannis, we'll see how they do this year. But you know the team and Philadelphia, they interesting. They say Joel is healthy. They say Paul George is almost ready. They a sleeper team because if they can stay healthy and Joel do what he does, Philadelphia is going to be a problem. Tyrese Maxey. A lot of people dismissing them because they just don't think they can stay healthy. But if they stay healthy, Philadelphia is going to have something to say as well. But did you know the team I'm going to pick to come out the East, though? The Orlando Magic. I like Pachero. He showed me a lot last year. The Magic play defense. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. It's going to be the defense. Desmond Bane was a big pickup for them. I'm going to go with the Magic. I think the other teams just going to get in their own way. I think Orlando going to slide in. I think they'll be a top 4 seed this year. I like the Orlando Magic to come out the East. I might be wrong. This is sort of just more of a gut feeling to me. Because I just can't. Cleveland, like I said, I just think they always hit some type of wall. The Knicks, like I said, can they handle the pressure? The Heat always get their own way. Boston just don't have enough this year. The Pacers, same thing. So, I just don't know. I think this is an opportunity for Orlando to sneak and take this thing. So, I like the Magic to come out the East. A lot of people probably don't think so, but that's what I'm going to go with. But really, the East is wide open. It really is. Any of these teams can come out. Wouldn't be surprised, like I said, Cleveland, the Knicks. I'm going to throw Detroit in there. The Magic, Milwaukee, Miami. Wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams come out. Now, let's just look at the bottom of the East. I'm going to look at the West too real quick. Shout out to our man Cape for the Chicago Bulls. They gotten younger. We'll see what they do this year. Can they take advantage and do something in the East this season? I left the flash. Sorry about all the background noise. They picking up trash right now while it's recycling day. And so they picking up trash right now. I'm out the backyard. Let's just touch on. I said something about the Bulls. I will Caper he'll probably comment later. But I must pick his brain, see what he feel about the Bulls this year. Atlanta Hawks is always a interesting team because Trae Young. Say what you want about him, but he got they call him Ice Trae for a reason. He could just carry the Hawks for weeks at a time. So look out for the Hawks as well. Only teams I pretty much dismissed: the Washington Wizards. They had to show me. Toronto Raptors. We'll see what they do this year, but and the Charlotte Hornets. Other than LaMelo, they not, is they worth even talking about. So East is wide open. Like I said, the West. I forgot to mention the Dallas Mavericks. If Kyrie come back healthy, Anthony Davis, they could be an issue. I like what the Blazers doing. I like what the San Antonio. We'll see what they do this year. The Sacramento Kings getting Russell Westbrook. There's been a lot of chat about Russell Westbrook and his time in LA with the Lakers, most certainly. A lot of just stuff coming out. But I I don't think he should have waited that long to get signed. Um, the Kings got a nice young team. He can fit in there and give them something. Um, the Jazz, I like what the Jazz doing too. They just in a tough conference. I mentioned Houston, the Warriors. I didn't talk about the Warriors, but the Warriors. Well, Steph, like I said, if Steph do what he does, Jimmy Butler going to give you something. Draymond Green, they get. I like the Al Horford sign, and I think that helps them a lot. Um, I think they gotta get whatever's going on with Kaminga. They gotta fix that because I think he can help them. Brzezinski, I like this team, so watch out for the Warriors as well. But I still just don't think any of these teams can touch OKC right now. We'll see what the Pelicans do with Zion Williamson. So a lot of these teams got good storylines. The Blazers are young and look good. We'll see what Phoenix now that they cleaned house. We'll see what Phoenix does. Because I just forgot the Clippers got Bradley Beal as well, but can he stay healthy? Um, and Memphis, like I said, I like Ja Morant. I think they might bounce back. So it's a deep Western Conference, and that's why I was thinking like maybe somebody would beat OKC. But then when I really look deep about it, I just can't put anybody over them right now. But it's they can get challenged. But I just think they ain't gonna do nothing but get better. So basically, all that to say, I think it's gonna be the Orlando Magic and the OKC Thunder in the finals. I think Luka will win MVP. I'ma just go with the easy choice. I think if Joel stay healthy, he'll win Comeback Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year, I think Cooper Flag. I think that's an obvious one as well. Defensive Player of the Year, I guess pick Rudy or Draymond to be in the conversation. Bam for Miami. I think he played good defense as well. So we'll see how that happens this year. But that's my pick. That's what I think is going to happen this year. I think the Magic going to take advantage of the East because everybody else got that. They sort of fly under the radar. I think they take advantage. They'll have to beat somebody. Probably have to go beat somebody on the road to get there. I don't think they're going to be the 1 seed, but I think the Magic will make the finals in the East. I'll keep an eye on that this year. But I think OKC is going to repeat. I just don't see nobody beat them. Maybe the next year, somebody emerge and get more productive, but I don't see it. I don't see nobody beating the Thunder this season. All right, so let's move on to the NFL. Week 7 just ended last night. But we're gonna talk about some Sunday's games first. Then we'll build up to the 2 games last night. Like I said, Detroit, good bounce back win for the Lions. Tampa, like I said, Baker took a step back last night, but a lot of injuries. Mike Evans went back down again. Now he's out for the season with a broken collarbone, pretty much. All half the receivers was hurt, but Baker did miss some throws. But we'll talk about that. Of course, we already last Thursday night. Joe Flacco rises from the dead again. Bengals beat the Steelers. That was a big win for Cincinnati to keep their season alive. We'll see how far Joe Burrow is from coming back. But Joe Flacco, if you give him a clean pocket, he can do that every week. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they played very, very well. Give them credit. Big win for them. Rams dominate the Jaguars. The Rams got to be the favorite in the NFC West now. Chiefs dominant win over the Raiders. I watched that game. Pat looked like the old Pat. Not saying that he's old, but that Chief offense probably looked the best they have in the last 2 years. Raiders are just a mess, though. Speaking of a mess, the Miami Dolphins get dominated by the Cleveland Browns, 31-6. Um, Tua is a look like they about to. We'll see. It's only Tuesday. Will they bitch Tua, go with somebody else? We'll see. New England Patriots, the team that's starting to get hot, dominate the Titans. They got off to a slow start that game, but they win that one, 31-13. Jets. I'm very disappointed in the Jets. I thought the Jets would be a lot better than this. 0-6 now. Panthers with another win, 13-6 over the Jets. Bears are starting to get their stride. Beat the Saints, 26-14. Eagles looked great, passing the football. Jalen Hurts looked great, but they win over Minnesota. Um, Colts. My power rank is gonna be tough this week, but the Colts had the best record in football, so they probably take over my number one spot. But we'll find that out tomorrow. Tomorrow I will give you my power rankings. I'm gonna have to put that together today. Do some thoughts on that. They beat the Chargers 38-24. The offense, uh, Daniel Jones, looks unbelievable. Um, so we'll see how real the Colts are as they schedule. Probably get a little tougher, but we'll see. Broncos over the Giants. That game was nuts. Giants was up 19 nothing in the fourth. All 33 points scored by Denver was in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix turned it on when he needed to. Huge win for the Broncos. Giants, though, I mean, as a Giants fan, they was talking about it this morning on some sports shows. Um, if you're a Giants fan, yes, you're gonna still have a long season. Might not make the playoffs, but I think Jackson Dart has proven that um, he's a capable quarterback. Only question is, will they hold on to Brian Dable, or will they let him go? Um, That'd be the only question mark for the rest of this season. I think they're gonna win some games um, that they ain't supposed to win. But this one, they could have had this one, but this one got away. They already beat Philadelphia, so they might win some games down the stretch. But I don't think they're gonna make the postseason. But you got your quarterback. We just gonna see what they're gonna do with the coach and everything else. But big win for the Broncos to keep pace. Um, I think they in first place by themselves. We'll look at the standings after we look at these games. Packers beat the Cardinals. Green Bay, everybody was so high on Green Bay. I just think they're too inconsistent. They win this game, but they got flaws. Cardinals, Coach Kyler Murray's out. Jacoby has played okay, but Arizona is Arizona still. Dallas Cowboys, big win over the Commanders. Jalen Daniels did go down in this game, but Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens probably the rivals chasing Higgins with Cincinnati, the top two receivers for a team. Dallas looked great. The run game looked great. The defense played pretty decent. Dallas, just keep an eye on them. They could put a monkey wrench in the NFC. 49ers as well, got to give them credit. Playing with all the injuries, but C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey, literally carrying the Niners. Big win for them. And then we talked about last night's games. Detroit, 24-9 over Tampa. Baker Mayfield didn't play well, but like I said, the injuries maybe started to catch up with the Bucks. Seattle, another team as well, looking great. We're going to take a look at the standings. But let's take a look at Week 8 games real quick. Just going to skim through them real quick. This Thursday, Vikings at Chargers. Big game for both teams to keep pace in playoff position. My Ravens come off a bye to go against the Chicago Bears. Pretty much to me a must-win. Lamar still ain't practicing, so that's not good news. But it's still early in the week, so hopefully he'll be ready. Jets at Bengals. The Jets 0-7. I gave them one less loss. I don't see the Jets winning the game now. I try to get behind them, but until they win a game, I don't know if they will. Cincinnati got new life with Joe Flacco, so we'll see if that continues. Dolphins at Falcons. Falcons another team, just too inconsistent. They have a big win, like the big win against Buffalo. They turn around, lose to San Francisco. Even though San Francisco was formidable, but I expected a better performance from Atlanta. So it's hard for me to get behind them and really believe in them. Bills and Panthers. This will be an interesting game. Carolina, 4 wins. I think they already got. Um, I think that's already their total from last year, I believe. Um, Buffalo, though, you expect them to go handle business, but don't sleep on the Panthers too much. Niners at Texas. Texas, another team. Just got to get the offensive line together. Giants rematch with the Eagles. I think since the Eagles lost the last time, I don't know if the Giants will win this game. I had my official picks on Friday. Browns at Patriots. That'll be an interesting game. Bucks at Saints. Like I said, we'll see if the injuries carry over. Um, Saints, of course, another team that's in limbo. Titans as well. They go against the Colts. Indy, 14.5 point favorite. Hard to argue that the way they playing right now. Dallas at Denver. That'll be an interesting game. Both teams want to keep winning. Sunday night football. Packers at Steelers. Big game for both teams as well. And then next Monday night, Commanders at Chiefs. We'll see if Jalen Daniels is back for that game. I do my picks on Friday, so we'll have the picks, my official picks on Friday. Let's took a look at the standings right now. As we're 7 weeks through the season, and then we're gonna probably go ahead and get on out of here. Probably touch on some other stuff because there's some other off the field stuff I want to touch on. Right now, New England is in first place in the AFC East. I'm about to say the American League. Think of baseball. Buffalo had to buy. Miami and the Jets, they're done. Go ahead and stick a fork in them two teams. They finished. AFC North, Pittsburgh holding on for dear life, but now the way they have looked, I got hope for the Ravens to come back. We're in last place right now, but Lamar got to get back sooner than later. Browns and the Bengals are going to be pests as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how this division turns out the next couple of weeks. Indy, to me, clearly the best team in this division now. Got to get that to them. Jaguars, the way they looked against the Rams and just over the last few weeks after the big win against the Chiefs, just couldn't take advantage of it. Houston, like I said, the offensive line problems. So Indy look like they're about to run away with this division, but we'll see. AFC West, Chiefs looked great, but they still only 4-3. Denver been squeaking by some games, but they've been pulling them out. They in your first place with 5-2. Chargers at 4-3 as well. Vegas at 2-5. I could say they're done. I'm gonna say they're done. They're done. NFC Eagles 5-2. As they bounce back, Dallas is starting to look formidable now. The Commanders, I warned this about some. I had some Commanders fans in my chat before the season started, saying they was gonna go to the Super Bowl. They get back to this. I was like, this is what I mean. I think, of course, they got injuries as well, but like I said, I think they might be a better team than they was last year. But other teams around them better things just ain't going their way this season so far. Hopefully Jalen is back next week. But they saying as of right now is uncertain. So, and the Giants, like I mentioned, the Giants, they're going to be a pain in the butt, but they're still maybe a year or so away. NFC North, another interesting division. Detroit, to me, Detroit is the best team in this division. I know Green Bay technically is at first. I know what the Bears been doing. Minnesota's nothing to look back at either. This division is going to get very, very interesting, but I think Detroit is going to eventually take this division over and run away with it. Feel the same way about the NFC South, even though Tampa lost last night. Just can't get behind the Falcons. Carolina just too inconsistent as well, but they 3-0 at home, and they look good at times. But Tampa is just to me clearly the best team. Saints are on at 6, of course. Now the NFC West, now probably the best division. 3-5 and 2 teams. Niners. I thought once Brock went down, I thought they would struggle, but Mac Jones has played well. Christian McCaffrey has been healthy and carrying the load. Seattle with their defense and Sam Darnold playing well. Rams, you know what they bring to the table. So we'll see who ends up winning this division. I think 3 teams could come out this division and make the playoffs. The tiebreaker is going to be interesting. So the NFC very very interesting. I think in the AFC, the teams that's in front, can they hold on? Do you really believe in them? That's why everybody's getting back on the Chiefs bandwagon again, which I can't blame them for. So just like every year, the NFL interesting again this season. So we'll see what happens from this point on. So tomorrow, power rankings. I kind of got what I'm gonna do. I kind of looked at it a little bit. Like I said, I kind of teased the Colts probably gonna be the number one because they got the best record at 6-1. Um, but everybody else is going to go see how far would Tampa fall since they lost last night. Um, find out tomorrow. I'll post it around noon tomorrow. So make sure you join me for that. All right, so that's pretty much it for the NFL. That's pretty much it for the show. I wanted to touch on. Matter of fact, I'm just going to touch on it. I'm not going to. But I can't. There we go. All right, let's see. Yeah, this was some sad news I wanted to touch on about the former running back Doug Martin. I wanted to. Well, now it's more details. Because first I wasn't going to touch on it if it wasn't more details. But basically, he died in police custody on Saturday morning after an incident at a residence in Oakland, California. He was involved in a break-in. So was he the one that tried to break in the place? But he died in the hospital. Just sad all around. I just want to touch on. I remember him as a player. Don't want to say everything is all about Madden, but Madden is a way you stay connected to the game as well. And I used to use that Tampa Bay team he was on with him and the quarterback. What was his name? But I used to use that team a lot. They used to call him the muscle hamster. But obviously he must have fell through some hard times. I think he was the one that was involved in the break-in. Police detained him. He was unresponsive. He went into the hospital where he didn't make it. So some sad news there. So I just wanted to touch on that, just to give my condolences on that. And just like I listen to a lot of YouTubers and other, just basically about celebrities and athletes, entertainers, whatever you want to call. They human just like us, man. At the end of the day, of course he was in the NFL, but obviously don't know. I guess we'll know more details. Like, was he under the influence? He obviously was in some trouble. If it felt like he had to break into someone's home. Rest in peace. Nobody deserves to lose their life under any circumstance. Of course, a lot of people probably thinking, well, what did the police do to him? Of course, all that stuff probably going to have some body cam footage eventually. But until then, I'm gonna reserve my other comments for that. I just wanted to give my condolences for him losing his life. But of course, more details will come out about this. And if so, if it's something significant, I'll touch on it again. But until now, I just want to give my condolences to Doug Martin. He was a good player when he was in the league, entertaining player. I liked it, that Tampa Bay team. So my condolences to him, and sorry that he lost his life. Um, Other thoughts about the channel. Today's Tuesday, so like I said, we normally don't do this on Tuesday, but I was off this morning, so I say I'd do it today. Tomorrow, Wild Wednesday streams, we're gonna do Pacific Drive, of course, a game that you see me play before. Um, Hopefully, we could get something done on the game. And then, of course, tomorrow, power rankings. Between now and then Thursday, pretty quiet day. I'll probably just do some videos. I'm gonna do some videos today. Section 13. I did a short video on that last night. I kind of messed the video up, but I still posted it anyway. Um, we're done with um, we're done with Gears of War. We're done with that. I might Friday. Friday, I got a game lined up called uh, Saga the Sea. It's a game I played a few years ago. But Ninja Gaiden 4 do come out this week, so it depends on how things look. And I might premiere that, so that's still up there. I already announced Saga the Sea, so I might just stick with that and maybe do Ninja Gaiden next Wednesday. So that's how I might go. But just keep posted, keep looking on my community wall for updates. Thursday night game, since I'm not doing a blog on Thursday, I would probably do a post on who I think will win that game between Minnesota and the LA Chargers. Both teams need that game to stay relevant in the postseason. Um, so interesting game this week. Friday, like I said, NFL picks and Song of the Sea probably be our Friday night stream game. But other than that, thanks. We had 401 subscribers. Thanks to Bertha. And I can't, like I said, it's in Russian, so I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. But thank you guys for commenting. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Did about 40 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Next week, I know what my schedule is. But it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I always try to do Thursday if I can. But it depends on my work schedule, I do it on Wednesday or Tuesday. And I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys watch the playback, thank you guys so much. Now that they take a clip, YouTube take a little clip out of the video and post it, so that'll be on the shorts probably later. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Peace and love always. Check out all my stuff on my social media, here on YouTube and everywhere else. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Going to be an interesting week this week. NFL wise, World Series, so a big week this week in the world of sports. NBA starts tonight. Can't wait for all that. See you guys next week on the blog. I see you guys tomorrow night on Wild Wednesday streams. Pacific Drive we'll be playing. That's the next time I'll be live. And then, of course, we go live on Friday night as well. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'm Troy West. Thank you for watching Silent Sports video blog. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace and love, guys. Thank you so much.